Hello and welcome to the leap year, February 29th episode of This Week in Kirkland, the official podcast of the city of Kirkland, bringing you timely topics and noteworthy news delivered to you every week. I'm your host, Jim Lopez, one of two deputy city managers here at the city, joined today by two members of our podcast team.
Kate Ryan.
And David Wolbrecht.
As well as two special guests, Christian Switzer and Christian Knight. Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
We have the Christian.
Yes.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, we're happy to have you. So we're looking forward to hearing about the Lake Street Pedestrian Scramble project that will make our amazing downtown even more amazing. But before we do, here are the topics we're covering this week.
Yeah, a few announcements, including Fire Station 21 is getting remodeled, upcoming stewardship opportunities, and a recap of our first CPR class at Fire Station 22.
Also some tips and helpful information on providing feedback on the siting of the Northeast Recycling and Transfer Station, being earthquake ready,
Yes.
and how to drive safely through roundabouts and traffic circles.
Yes, I'll be listening closely to that section. Plus, what's upcoming at Council next week. But first, my friends, our big story of the week. Get ready. Park Spring registration opens March 19th. It's kind of like a rite of passage.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. Mark your calendar to be ready to register for camps and non-swim programs March 19th at 7 a.m.
Yep, and then the very next day, March 20th at 7 a.m., registration opens for swimming, pool rentals, and aquatic programs.
Wow.
Yeah, Kirkland residents get these priority times. Registration for non-Kirkland neighbors opens March 21st.
Yeah, and if you want to be prepared for this, because I hear it fills up fast, so you can go to kirklandparks.net and update your account today, or at least before March 19th at 7 a.m.
So have you seen those fences at Fire Station 21? That's right. It's getting an overhaul.
The Forbes Creek Fire Station, Station 21 by Juanita Bay Park, is getting modernized and remodeled to meet the needs of the fire department and our community.
That's neat. The renovations help improve firefighters' efficiency, workplace health and safety, while incorporating earthquake resiliency, extending building life, and improving energy efficiency. It's quite a list they're tackling.
Yeah, way to go.
This is funded by the 2020 Fire Prop 1 ballot measure. So
Thank you, voters. Yeah.
Thank you. So the next meeting of the Kirkland City Council is on Tuesday, March 5th. Here's what's on the agenda.
On the business agenda, Council will consider authorizing the issuance of a bond that's basically taking out a loan for fire station renovations and transportation benefit district safety projects for students, families, and workers.
Yeah, and Council will consider amending the Kirkland Municipal Code relating to purchasing.
Council will also receive an update on the 2024 legislative agenda, which is always interesting.
And they'll also receive an update on the progress of the Urban Forest 6-year work plan.
And prior to the business agenda, here's what's on the study session.
An update on the Cascade Water Alliance water supply negotiations.
And a first briefing on the guiding principles and housing element policy as part of the 2044 Comprehensive Plan update. So please tune in for that.
Absolutely. And a reminder, council meetings are streamed live on the city's YouTube channel, Facebook page, and on the city's website.
Yes. So the first CPR class at Fire Station 22 was, no surprise, a big success. So thank you to the 25 Kirkland community members who came and filled every seat at our very first CPR class at the newly renovated Fire Station 22.
Wow, that's really awesome.
Yeah, great way to kick off that community room. This ongoing class is a partnership between Medic One Foundation and the Kirkland Fire Department.
And we've heard a great demand for these classes. We're getting asked all over the place. So we're actually hoping to move up our next one. We were going to have it in April, but we're looking to actually do it in March. So
nice.
We're still working out the details, but we will, of course, keep you posted on a future podcast.
I love it
Great.
that there's so much demand for that.
Right.
Absolutely, yeah.
So great. Well, here's something that happened 23 years ago. That would be the Nisqually earthquake.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. I was...
Tell us about that.
Yeah, I was a senior in high school. I was at Redmond High School. So this happened on February 28th, 2001. And I was in the physics classroom eating my lunch because I was super cool in high school.
Such a great student.
Yeah, well, sure. And we saw our 3 science teachers sprint out of the building, and we had been told prior that although we were given the safety instructions to get under the table, like one of our science teachers was like, and this building was built on a swamp, so I'm going to be leaving the building in an earthquake. And they did. And so we followed. And I got to tell you, being in an earthquake with 3 science teachers is kind of the best way to experience it. It was, they're like, there's the S waves and like all this stuff where it's like, wow, cool, applied learning. So
there you go.
Anyway, for those that don't know, 23 years ago, we had a 6.8 magnitude earthquake that rocked the region and caused significant structural damage to many buildings.
And we kibitz, but this is very, very serious.
Yeah, it cracked the dome of the state capital, Olympia.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
big deal.
Well, did you know that we have more faults in our region than just Cascadia and Seattle fault? I did not realize that. Well, we have a fault line map that you can check out in the show notes, as well as helpful tips on being earthquake prepared.
So please, please, please check that out. Got to be prepared. So are you or someone you know interested in becoming a Kirkland police officer? Well, come be a part of something bigger than yourself and join a high-performing and close-knit department serving your community. Our Kirkland Police Department, the best department.
Right.
Indeed. So what's that first step? Well, the organization Public Safety Testing, that's what we use to administer testing for KPD. It's holding upcoming events or upcoming exams, I should say, in Auburn this March.
And I just want to point out, they don't necessarily have testing super locally all the time, so it's a great opportunity to get in. For example, the other 2 tests in March are in Yakima and Ellensburg.
Yeah, so it's right around the corner.
Yeah, Auburn's just like right there.
around the corner.
So make that first step and get tested and come join an awesome team.
Awesome. Hey, is it a roundabout or a traffic circle? Keep listening to be in the loop.
Oh,
okay.
I saw what you did there, Jim. So high level, a roundabout is designed to keep travelers moving. While a traffic circle is designed to slow traffic down. Kate, tell us about that.
Roundabouts.
Well, roundabouts, they increase traffic capacity, and they make intersections safer and more efficient for drivers, pedestrians, cyclists, and there tends to not be traffic signals or stop signs.
I see. Okay.
Keep the traffic moving, as you mentioned.
Gotcha.
Now, neighborhood traffic circles, Kate, are much smaller than roundabouts.
Okay, that makes sense.
And are used as traffic calming devices. They may have stop signs or yield signs.
Yeah, and we got a bunch of those
We
around.
got a bunch of those.
In our neighborhoods. So helpful tips, everybody.
Helpful tips.
Yeah.
So we are in the next phase of King County's evaluation to site a Northeast recycling and transfer station. Now, King County plans to replace the outdated Houghton transfer station with a modern facility in the Northeast King County area by 2029.
Yeah, there's a lot of steps and phases to this process, and right now they are collecting comments on the environmental impact statement.
And you can read this statement on their website or in print. We have a big printed, I think it's like a big old
Binder.
thing, you know, here at City Hall and also at the Kirkland Library.
Oh, good. That's good to know.
Nice. Plus, there's 3 upcoming meetings you can attend. All of that, where else? In our show notes.
Yes. So do you love caring for nature in our parks?
Yeah.
Well, we've got some opportunities for you.
Oh, pray tell, Jim.
Well, we had Jeremy Jones on last week to talk about becoming a green
That's
Kirkland
right.
steward.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
So it's not too late to attend those upcoming orientation and information sessions.
That's right. And in addition to our Green Kirkland partnership, our Parks Department is hosting a series of beautification events, and they've got 4 scheduled in March.
Wow,
Yes,
super
I
cool.
missed that. So that brings us to our 5 and 5. 5 questions, 5 minutes. You know the drill. Kind of approximately 5 minutes.
5. I mean, like, is it?
Is it? With our two special guests.
Ooh, 2.
Christian Switzer and Christian Knight. Welcome.
Thank
Christian
you.
and Christian.
Thanks.
Does that mean we have 2.5 minutes each?
No, I think that means you have 10 minutes total.
That's right.
I think it doubles the other way, I think.
If we're going by past practice, Christian, that would be the answer. Yes. So you're here to talk about the Lake Street Pedestrian Scramble. Yeah. So we're really interested to hear about that. But please first tell us both what you do for the city.
My name is Christian Switzer, and I am a special projects coordinator for economic development and tourism. What that really means is I do a whole bunch of different things. And I am working in partnership with Christian Knight on this Lake Street Pedestrian Scramble and doing a little bit more of the front-facing marketing to the community.
Awesome.
Right on. Yeah, my name is Christian Knight, and officially I'm the community engagement coordinator for the capital improvement program. And what that means is I really do 2 things. I help prepare community members for projects, but then I also help prepare projects for the community
Oh,
members.
that's
Ooh,
great. Yeah,
I
that
like
makes a
that.
lot of sense.
Nice.
Now, our listeners may recognize Christian Switzer, who is now in the rarefied air of being on the show twice.
Waiting for that third one and getting that jacket.
It might
Do we
be,
have jackets?
It might be a
Not
mug.
yet.
It might be a mug. But
Or
something.
like a pin.
or
Yeah.
something. So, Christian, we talked a little bit about, we got to know you a little bit about it on your first episode. So I thought maybe we would focus a little bit on Christian Knight in this episode. So, Christian.
Yay.
Christian Knight, how did you come to Kirkland?
Well, I was here because I was an editor at a magazine that was devoured by the Great Recession,
Oh.
which compelled me to go to graduate school and get an MPA. And my capstone, actually, project was understanding how to get folks involved in the budgeting process
Really?
at the city of Kirkland. And
That's
so
amazing.
It was a Kirkland-specific capstone?
Kirkland specific capstone
Wow.
that
Goodness.
led to an internship, which led to, well, now 13 years here.
Wow,
Holy
that's
cow.
really great. Getting engaged in the budget process. You didn't pick an easy task.
Nope.
Also not a super exciting one, although we try.
Yeah, I started with a super exciting one, but that one was much more practical and
So, Christian, do you have a favorite thing about Kirkland?
I got a lot of favorite things.
Could
You
be
know,
any. Doesn't have to be the.
my first favorite thing about Kirkland, honestly, was the bike lanes. I wasn't even a bike commuter when I got here. I came from a small town where I had Whitewater literally 3 or 4 blocks away from where I lived.
Wow.
And when I came here, I was like, I gotta integrate some kind of adventure into my daily life, or I'm gonna go mad. You know, this is, I'm a country boy. So-
Needing adventure.
Yeah. So I bought a bike off Craigslist for $100 and started bike commuting. That was 2007.
Wow.
It's still my primary mode of transportation in Kirkland.
Well, this is for real because as I was walking into, it's not like the most pleasant. We're recording on Thursday morning. It's not
In
like
February.
In February, it's not like the most pleasant morning out there. But there's Christian riding by on his bike. Did
Yep.
that not happen this very morning? It's like
Yeah,
drizzly and chilly. And so you are both here to talk about the Lake Street Pedestrian Scramble. Christian Switzer, what is that?
What is that? Is a great question. So when I started on this project, I was like, why did the city name this Scramble? It's such a messy, confusing concept. It turns out that is a defined term for the type of pedestrian crosswalk that we're putting in.
Yes.
So that is what they are called. They are called a scramble. So leading into that a little bit, we've launched a marketing campaign that sort of focuses on eggs and chickens and has a funny little memorable inclination for the public to kind of engage with our downtown business.
Okay, so we're embracing the term scramble, but what actually is a scramble?
I'm going to let Christian Knight answer that.
Pedestrian scramble, there's several of them around the world. Basically what they do is they turn an intersection into a pedestrian plaza on which folks can cross in any direction they want while traffic is stopped. All traffic is stopped at all 4 legs
Okay,
of the
so there's
intersection.
4, this is interesting, there's 4 intersecting roads, right? And you think of a big square that becomes a plaza and that becomes the intersection.
Yep.
And everybody walks across.
I just think of Pike Place Market,
Oh,
right?
that's great.
Right out front, Pike Place Market has one of these, right?
That's a great example. Yep.
Okay, yeah.
So the origin of this is actually safety. That's what started this project, and it actually started from a community member who had a front and center seat to the intersection, and he actually asked City Council to do something there. And so City Council kind of looked at that request and asked staff to study the intersection, and sure enough, staff found that this was an intersection that needed some safety improvements. So that's where it started. Where it's going to end is it's going to look a lot like, but not identical to, Park Lane.
Park Lane. Oh, okay. Yeah,
So-
that's interesting. That's good. So we have a clear kind of brick and mortar example of what the end result might look like.
Yep.
Tell us, Christian Knight, where is all this happening? Because there's a lot going on. There's going to be street closures, right? There's going to be construction. Puget Sound Energy is doing work. Tell us, and I will in our magical show notes put the information and all the maps and stuff. But please tell us briefly where all this is happening.
I got to see these magical show notes at some point. They sound mythical. So the intersection is the Lake Street and Kirkland Avenue intersection.
Yeah.
And the entire intersection will be under construction for 8 weeks, starting right around April 1st.
Okay.
And ending right around May 31st to June 1st. 8 weeks. The entire intersection will be shut down.
Okay.
24/7.
But not to foot traffic.
But not to foot traffic.
Great point.
And
Go ahead.
So that's just make sure that I'm oriented. That's like right down out of the like south entrance exit of Marina Park. Is that right? Kind of if you
Yep.
come up from there, that's Kirkland Ave.
That's Kirkland Avenue.
Okay.
That's right.
And so there's
By
kind of
the slip and
Yeah, but-
homegrown
okay, great,
and
okay.
like that corner.
Yeah, this
Perfect,
is the area
okay.
where it's happening.
yeah. Okay.
And that's for 8 weeks. But there's going to be other construction going around related to the project, right?
There's going to be intensive construction going on
Yeah.
for the remainder of the project.
Yes.
Yeah.
So where's all that happening?
So the other major construction impact will be at each leg of the intersection.
Okay.
Each of those legs will be closed down one at a time. The other 3 will be open, but each of those legs will be closed down one at a time while construction crews rebuild that leg.
That leg.
Okay.
Yeah.
And ultimately what's going to happen is the street surface will be brought up to the same elevation as the sidewalk.
Oh wow.
surface.
Okay.
Yeah.
Similar to what you see at Park Lane.
Oh right.
What's the reason for that?
So the major reasons for that are visibility for people who are driving. That it makes the pedestrians a lot more visible, and it also helps to calm traffic.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, got it.
And it's I think these things really do create a wonderful sense of place. right?
Absolutely.
And our downtown is beautiful. It's one of the signature parts of our city. So in that space, Christian, what are some of the things we have planned? Because obviously a big part of this is going to be disruption to our local businesses, and we love them, and we want to help them, and I think a big part of the message of the show is even though you may see some construction and you may see some, disruption, please keep going to those businesses, right? Keep patronizing our downtown businesses throughout this and try to make it as smooth a transition as possible. So what do we have planned for that?
So we have a bunch of different things going on. I want to start with I dug through some of the history of that intersection, and it has changed so much over the last 100 years. We'll post some of these photos in the next couple of weeks here of what that history looked like. But this has been an intersection that's changed many, many times.
Yes.
Kirkland's changing all the time. So that's something we want to remember as we focus on supporting those businesses down there. Foot traffic is open. There's not a ton of parking spots that are right in that intersection, so you're not really being disrupted on where you're parking downtown. With that said, you are going to have to walk to those businesses and check them out to help support that and to help support a little bit of the loss of those parking spots for the limited time. We are going to be teaming up with our bike valet stewards.
Oh, boom. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so this is a new concept, a new pilot program. We are teaming up with a group who came to the city asking for support on providing bike valet for events, for concepts like this. And this was a perfect fit coming right up on our calendar that seemed like it might really work.
Yeah.
So you can ride your bike downtown. You can put it with the bike valet and they watch it and keep an eye on it and all of those things. You can go to your shopping, you can come back and get your bike and ride home.
Now,
convenient.
how often is the Valley going to be there?
So it's going to be on the weekends. So Saturday and Sunday is the goal right now. We'll post all this in the show notes.
Good.
But that's the concept, and we're really excited about having this micro mobility version in downtown Kirkland.
And we're so grateful, our friends at Livable Kirkland. And I mean, they're just, the community's coming together. We're really trying to show our energy and our support and our love for our downtown businesses. So please remember, use the bike valet. I think we're going to see Christian doing it, right? I mean, Christian's.
Yeah. Well, at least one of us. You're also going to see a whole lot of eggs downtown.
Yeah, that's right. Tell us about
so
that.
you're going to see, some of them are scrambled eggs, which make more sense for this project, but some of them are also over easy. And that's because this project is going to go over easy.
Boom. Well played.
Exactly.
Well, thank you both. But before we end this segment, I do want to emphasize Christian Knight. Where can people actually park? Christian Switzer had mentioned that. So where are the strategies to park downtown during the scramble?
Yeah, so the main parking areas, the Lake and Central parking area is still open. The Marina parking area is open. Mm-hmm. And actually, the city did something kind of ingenious, I think. It found 9 additional parking spots on Lake Street.
Oh, good.
By converting the northbound to eastbound Lake Street right turn lane into 9 parking spots.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're also working with St. John's Episcopal Church.
Yep.
Which is offered to give us like 5 or 6 parking spots specifically for
them.
construction workers.
That was very
that's
nice of them.
super helpful.
Yeah.
Super nice, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, because they're just right there. They're just up on 6th or whatever. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're pretty close. They're close enough for getting to work and back. Regardless of the additions and the parking spots that we found, there is going to be a net loss of parking.
Right.
And that's 23 stalls
For how long?
for the closure of the project. So for 8 weeks at least.
Okay. And of course, this is going to be really, really difficult for commuters.
That's right. Yeah. So Lake Washington Boulevard coming into downtown and coming out of downtown is, of course, a major commuter route.
Yeah.
So detour maps, all that will be on the show notes. Check it out.
So we really want to try to find alternative routes.
Absolutely.
Do what we can. We're all in this together.
Yeah. Please be patient with each other. You know, hang in there.
Hang in there. All right. Well, thank you for that. Good information, and we'll follow up with all of that for sure in the show notes. So, Christian and Christian, will you stick around for our pop quiz?
Of course.
Of course.
Thank you both. It's a multiple choice trivia. One of these answers is served on a plate of truth, while the others are just stuck to the pan.
Sounds like I prepped them up, Jim.
Yes, you and me both.
Yeah.
Which means we made them up. We just made them up.
Got it.
Okay, so option A, a Michelin-starred sushi chef won't teach pupils to make sushi until they have spent years mastering Japanese-style omelets.
Okay.
That's option A.
That's like, okay.
Option B, according to a 2019 YouGov survey, about a third of Americans say scrambled eggs, Christian Switzer, are their most preferred way to consume eggs for breakfast. That's option B. Option C is my puzzle book said unscramble the letters to find the clue.
Yes.
But my partner told me to stop cutting up the mail.
Oh.
David?
This one's true. I mean, I think this was pretty sure an activity I did this weekend.
Yes.
So do we have to agree on this? Are we
But
reaching consensus?
No, you just have a little fun.
No,
Okay.
we can all have our own.
Okay.
Any thoughts?
I know high-level sushi chefs are incredible, so I'm curious about A.
About the omelet.
Yeah, about the omelet.
As a
I'm sorry,
currently
Japanese
pregnant
style
person, I'm only allowed to eat hard scrambled eggs. It's not my favorite, so I don't think
You don't think it's B?
think B is right.
I don't think it's B.
Well, how many different ways are there to have eggs? There's fried eggs.
There's more than scrambled.
There's hard-boiled eggs.
Yeah, there's over easy, over hard.
There's an
sunny
omelet.
Side up,
Sunny side up.
An omelet.
Wow.
French
So-
toast.
So 36% is actually like the majority. It's a
Given all the
or there's a good chance it's a majority.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
All right, we're going to need an answer.
I'm gonna go with B.
I'm gonna go with A.
I'm gonna go with B.
And the answer, my friends, is B.
Heck yeah.
36% of Americans prefer scrambled eggs at breakfast. 93% of them, yes, please, want them with a side of bacon.
Well, I am seeing this, Jim. Did you know
Yes.
that Hiro Ono, owner of the 3-star Michelin
Oh, yes. Tell us about
sushi
this.
restaurant in Tokyo, has served luminaries such as Barack Obama and Shinzo Abe. And he makes his apprentice chefs learn to prepare every other dish in his repertoire before tackling tamagoyaki omelets.
So it's the omelets that they have to aspire to.
Do you think the omelet is really that much better? Like
Yes.
than what I could
Have
make?
you seen it?
I-
Have you seen the
Well,
video
we'll have
of
to check it out.
Well-
it looks better.
Thank you, Christian and Christian, for being on the podcast.
All right, and don't
Thanks for having
forget to set your alarm for Parks Recreation registration.
And that does it, my friends, for this week. You've been listening to This Week in Kirkland. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Special thanks to Anthony Girardi, Chris Peterson, and Sue Romero for their behind-the-scenes magic.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next episode is March 7th. Until then,
Stay connected, Kirkland.